Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy Boulanger. And up next, man, we just want to celebrate our 2024 Baltimore Ravens Pro Bowlers, man. We have 7 guys who were nominated and selected for the Pro Bowl. Lamar Jackson, Tyler Lindenbaum, Kyle Hamilton, Pat Queen, Roquan Smith, and the Justins, Justin Metabuke and Justin Tucker. Now, as we celebrate these guys, man, for making the Pro Bowl, and we understand that our season isn't finished, we believe that we can go and win the Super Bowl. I think that it's time to identify some of these guys who are going to be what I call Pro Bowl priorities. There's 2 main guys on this Pro Bowl list who are free agents. That's Metabuke and also Pat Queen, a guy that we should have picked up his 5th-year option, but we did not. And so I think that it makes us a little vulnerable as we look into our future, especially when we have a dynamic duo at the linebacker position. And I think that we have to begin to look at some of the other guys who have substantial contracts on this roster and make a determination who is priority. Do we trade, reduce salary, waive some of the other guys so that we can retain both Metabuke and Pat Queen? I think in order to do that, one of the first things we'll have to do is let Geno Stone go. I think that he's played his way out of Baltimore unless he's willing to give us a great hometown discount. But I think that what he's done this season with 7 picks, I think that has earned him a big contract. And I don't think that the Baltimore Ravens can keep him. Although he's not a Pro Bowler, he could be on the short list for a fill in, depending on who's in the Super Bowl. And so I think that we're going to lose Geno Stone. And I think we have to in order to try and maintain both of these guys. We're expected to only have a little under $13 million in salary cap this off season, which definitely won't be enough to keep both these guys unless we do some cap gymnastics with the contract and pay them a big signing bonuses and small contracts and let the contract explode in 2025, where we will have an estimated $61 million in cap space. Also, where we can get rid of some of the larger detrimental contracts and make even more cap space. I know that sounds like more of a conversation for the off season, and it is, and we will have that conversation. But I wanted to hit this since the Pro Bowl list was right in front of us. uh, the beautiful thing is that Lamar's under contract. Hamilton still has basically 3 years, 2 on his rookie deal, and the 5th-year option. Linderbaum has two more years on his rookie deal, and also the 5th-year option, where I'm sure they won't stumble over those 5th-year options. They'll pick those up with no question. Tucker is under contract for a couple of more years. And so I think that we're pretty good, but I think Queen and Metabuke have to be Pro Bowl priority. I think that if we're going to keep our Super Bowl window open, excuse me, which I think that it is now, I think you have to have Queen and you have to have Metabuke. I know that they elected to sign Broderick Washington. I think that was an easier deal. It was a more simple deal to get done. But I think Metabuke is going to be probably somewhere in that 10 to 14 million dollar a year range, something like 4 years, 55 to 60 million. I think Pat Queen is probably going to be a 4 year, $80 million guy. If we can get him 4 years, 72 million, I think we've gotten a bargain for Patrick Queen. I think that it's too early to break up that dynamic duo. I mean, think about the Pro Bowlers that we have. We have a Pro Bowler in the trenches. We have 2 Pro Bowlers in the middle of our defense. And then we have another Pro Bowler in our secondary. And I think that if we can maintain this core, I think that those guys now become our core. And we have to draft well and put other good pieces around those guys. And I think that we can maintain a level of success for at least 3 to 4 more years. before we have to just kind of retool the whole roster. I think one thing that we could do is kind of take a, I don't want to say anything good about Cleveland other than we could take an example from Cleveland and what they did with the Deshaun Watson deal, and he restructured his deal. He didn't lose any money, but made some cap space. And I think that Lamar would be willing to restructure his deal, give him some more upfront money, maybe add another year on the end, whatever that looks like to create some cap space. Because I think we have to keep these two guys in house. I'm not 100% sure what the Odell Beckham contract looks like and how it's going to impact next year's cap space and all those kind of things. But I think that Metabuke and Pat Queen are priority. 100% priority. I don't think we need to play around with these guys. I think that we need to try to get these guys done as soon as the season's over. Another idea that we can keep both and make them priority is pick which guy is going to have the lesser cap hit with the franchise tag. So meaning if you franchise tag Metabuke, does his interior line contract have less of a hit than Patrick Queen's linebacker contract? One or the other. But whichever one you can franchise tag, just to make sure you give the contract to the other, not because one is more valuable than the other, but just to keep both in house, and then you can work on the deal. Um, I think that if we can do that, we come into we win the Super Bowl this year. I think that's why it's necessary that we capitalize on this bye week, get healthy, and go win the Super Bowl, because contracts, like we all know, contracts get more and more expensive. You don't want, and we don't want the Cincinnati Bengals scenario to begin to unfold in Baltimore, where Joe Burrow on a rookie deal went to the Super Bowl and they didn't finish the deal. Now he has a new contract, but now everybody else's contract is going to become exponentially more expensive. You got T. Higgins, who is a free agent, who's going to want a new deal. You got Jamar Chase, who I'm sure they're going to pick up his 5th-year option, but then he's going to want a contract. So now these contracts are going to explode at a position wide receiver where you can't afford to have two max type contracts. And so they're going to begin to lose pieces, just like they lost guys out of their safety room last year. And so I think that we have to capitalize while Hamilton and Linderbaum are on their rookie deals, while we can retain Metabuke and Pat Queen. I think we must do that and then continue to draft well. Now um, we hadn't hit anything out of the park um, a whole lot over the last 5 years, but the 2020 class is showing up now as they're at the end of their deals. The 2021 class, um, both what's those guys' names? No, not the 2021 class, the 2022 class. Linderbaum, Hamilton showing up really good. And then Zay. Zay may be the only guy from last year's draft, the 2023 draft, that we have on our roster or have deep in our future beyond this year. So let me know what you guys want me to know. Do you guys believe both these guys are priorities? And do you guys think that we need to do what is necessary to keep both in house? Or could we sacrifice one to keep the other? I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.